Yeah, absolutely. There's still a role for some of these services to play. I wouldn't be telling people to just get rid of these things, but the
Mm,
days of spending a lot of money every 3 or 4 years, even 5 years, on a physical server in the office, and then not really
mm,
spending any money on your infrastructure for 3 or 4 years are gone.
mm.
IT is moving much more to an OPEX, so operational costs. So really having a budget for what each person in your organization costs for IT, and then little and often every month, just
Mm.
doing little bits. It doesn't need to be big. So yeah, taking that capex and spending it, certainly a lot of organizations may well be coming up to that point where um, their their kit is aging in the office and it started to needs a replacing. Don't replace it with a big expensive server in the office anymore. Spend a lot less money on sort of operational costing. So
Mm.
a little bit a month
Yeah.
is absolutely the way to go with this. If you have a server in the office though, and it's relatively new and it does the job and it's okay, that's fine. It's good. Just make sure you've got a robust backup in place, that it's accessible externally. That you've got the control of the data that you need on that. So yeah, so it doesn't need to be a case of get rid of these things. It just needs to be a case of think about them creatively. And as I said, little and often know what your plan is for the next year to 2 years to three
Mm.
years, which feels sometimes like too far into the future. But
Yeah.
your plan changes all the time. So have a plan, look at it once a month, once a quarter, make sure you assess it, make sure it still meets the need of what you're trying to achieve. And the really nice thing about that is it starts to give you an idea of what your budget needs to be for IT, rather than what happens for a lot of small businesses where it kind of comes after the fact. So something goes wrong, someone gets hacked, something fails, and therefore the business has to find budget
Yeah.
miraculously somewhere, which is almost impossible to do. It doesn't really matter what your budget is. It could be 1,000 quid, it could be 100 quid, it could be £10,000. Um, if you know what your budget is and you know what your problems are, then you can start and then you can start to build a roadmap. And again, little and often will just move you in the right direction.